Hey guys, Christian Ross here, and welcome to episode 2 of WWE Pay-Per-View Reviews. And today I will be reviewing the most recent pay-per-view, WWE The Beast in the East, that was produced live from Tokyo, Japan on the WWE Network. Start off, there was 2 matches that were promoted for the card, but they ended up being dark matches which were not shown to the public that was not there in the arena. The first one, which was Cesaro versus Diego from Los Matadores, Cesaro picked up the win, and in the second dark match, the Lucha Dragons picked up the win on the New Day of Big E and Xavier Woods. Both matches were pretty lengthy matches that lasted up to 26 minutes. First match that was produced on the WWE Network was Chris Jericho versus Neville, in which Chris Jericho picked up the win. I felt a little bit uneasy about this match just because, even though Chris Jericho has only been out of the company for now about 6 months, they played him as like a tired old man during this match. I mean, it was really kind of unsettling because just back in like December we saw him jumping off the top of a steel cage and stuff like that, but I mean, they acted like he was a guy that had never been in the ring in about 10 years. He still looked really good, and most of his moves, like a code breaker, lion salt, and his normal move set. But Michael Cole and Brian Saxon, they just were really acting like it had been a while. And Neville looked good also in his normal moves with the red arrow. But it was a pretty good match, really good to start off the show, and I'd probably give it a C+. The next match on the card was the only Divas match, and it was for the Divas Championship, which saw Nikki Bella defeat Tamina and Paige. Now, for the whole promotion for this match, they were promoting Naomi in it, and I was a little bit confused when they put Tamina in. You know, the whole Divas division right now is just so confusing, I think. You know, it's the exact opposite of what NXT is right now. You know, NXT is based on talent practically, but on main roster, I mean, it's just how good you look and like how you can work towards the camera really. And I mean, I think the main roster divas should just get back to there when it was the women's division. But you know, it's just almost an embarrassment on how like talented and work the NXT girls are putting in, and then just kind of to see the Divas division on the main roster just there for show. So all in all, I'd probably give this match only maybe a D+. Now the match from where the show got its name, Brock Lesnar taking on Kofi Kingston, in which obviously Brock Lesnar took the win. You know, I will be honest, I was surprised with Brock Lesnar getting this win. And before you start saying like, what, oh, he's just kidding, it is because since Brock Lesnar came back a couple weeks ago, he has been really played as looking weaker and not the same, you know, beast incarnate that he was when he gave John Cena those 16 suplexes at SummerSlam last year, winning the triple threat match with a legitimate injury. And, you know, I just really have to say, and how they actually promoted this match, at least was thinking something a lot more than just a less than 3-minute match. You know, it really set the stage for Brock Lesnar back to his, you know, beast incarnate, giving Kofi Kingston, I believe, 4 suplexes, and then the New Day coming out after the match and him also delivering F5 suplexes to them. But, you know, because this is how the show got its name, I was expecting a lot more from this match. I mean, it was still really good. And don't get me wrong, I love seeing a Brock Lesnar beatdown. But there really was no that big major, like, box office draw that's in a lot of Brock Lesnar matches. I don't know if this was really just kind of because of an expanded house show or what. But, still a good match. I'd say B-. But, you know, just really looking forward to the battleground match between Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins for the championship, and really looking forward to see who comes out of it. Now for what I believe, and I know a lot of other people believe, was the true main event of this show. Finn Balor defeating Kevin Owens for the NXT Championship. I almost find this comical what Michael Cole said about halfway through the match, that John Cena was in the main event, that this was not the main event. This was an incredible match, and I am so happy to see someone like Fergal Devitt, Finn Balor win the NXT Championship. He is such a great talent. Absolutely amazing match. I mean, right from when, Japanese tradition, how they'll always give a bouquet of flowers to each competitor before the championship match, and Owens just completely trashing that tradition by throwing the flowers out, all the fans throwing the streamers into the ring. Everything was just done perfectly, and it was just an amazing match. And I mean, I watched this here on the East Coast, which this match went on about 6:30 a.m. and I was just on the edge of my seat the whole time. I really expected Balor to win, but I mean, just how this match went over was just amazing. I think it would have been really cool had at the end had Kevin Owens break character to shake hands with Balor, because I really don't expect Kevin Owens to stay in NXT that much longer. I mean, now that he's really in this major heated rivalry with Cena, and how he's probably going to win the U.S. Championship at Battleground, I could possibly see a rematch with Balor at the next NXT TakeOver, which was announced this weekend that will be at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn the night before SummerSlam. But I'd give this match an A minus. I actually kind of hope Finn Balor does not hold on to the title that long, just because I really want him to see the main roster really soon, because I think if they play him right, they don't rush him, they don't do anything stupid like they did to Neville, where they changed his name and everything and his pretty much whole demeanor from NXT. I think if they really work with Balor, he could be one of the greatest superstars that's the company's ever had. I mean, he has the potential, he has everything. I mean, along with the Demon War paint that he wore, which looked amazing again tonight. And if they play that into it really well, just use that a couple pay-per-views a year, like WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and Royal Rumble, which is the big four pay-per-views. I mean, I think Balor has the absolute potential to be amazing. And, this is the one thing I take away from that. I'm just so surprised that this was not the main event. Though, like I said, to begin this portion of this review, I believe it was, and I know a lot of other people do. So now, even though I'm a little bit embarrassed to say it, what the main event of the evening was, per the WWE, was John Cena and Dolph Ziggler defeating Kane and King Barrett. Well, I have to say, watching this match, it felt like I was in an arena. If you've ever seen a WWE show live, you know how they have the main show, and then after they go off air, they'll usually have a just kind of in arena main event where it kind of pits a lot of rivalries together, like 6-man tag team match, this regular tag team match. And this match had absolutely, to me, no draw. It was the same thing that you see in the arena in the house main events. That it's usually the heels that get the upper hand the entire match. Then usually it's always John Cena that gets tagged in at the last minute to make the save. And then right before he gets double teamed, the partner comes in and kind of breaks it off, and Cena hits him with an A to win the match. Now, that's all fine and good, but, this match, I mean, just watching it, to me, had no draw. Because, watching the Kevin Owens match, you could tell he was in that rivalry with John Cena, because he would mock him in moves, but John Cena looked like he was in his own rivalry with somebody else, like either Kane or King Barrett, which really seemed a little bit strange. It was kind of cool, reminiscing on old times, the John Cena Wade Barrett rivalry back from the Nexus days. But all in all, who I feel bad about through this whole thing is Dolph Ziggler. I mean, he just needs so much more. He is another great talent that just has not gotten a push. I mean, ever he's gotten a push, but just kind of like CM Punk's push back in 2008, when really a lot of main roster guys had a legitimate injuries that put him out of action for a couple months, and he was just there kind of as the time filler until people like Randy Orton came back. Um, but Dolph Ziggler, talk about a guy which back last November was on top of the world after he single-handedly had practically taken out the entire authority in the Survivor Series traditional elimination match. He does not deserve to be in this feud, this love-struck feud with Lana and Rusev. He deserves, if not the higher tier main card, at least upper mid card, because how they're using him is just completely like comical to me. Because I mean, most people think and know he's a lot more capable of doing stuff, but we'll just have to see if WWE will ever wake up and just get these guys that deserve to be in the main feuds, in the main storylines, because people like John Cena, that he has been there for like 10 years now. I mean, most people, they'll work their way up from the bottom, they'll get to the main event, and then usually they'll get plagued with some legitimate injury that puts them out of action for a couple months, and when they come back, they'll start at the bottom again on Superstars, and they'll work all the way back up. But someone like John Cena, he'll get an injury or something like that, legitimate, in the main card, and then he'll be out for 7 months, 5 months, 2 weeks, and he'll be right back where he was. So, I heard a pop for Ziggler, like during his entrance, but I really did not hear, except for the three older gentlemen sitting front row that were all decked out in their John Cena shirt, John Cena hat, John Cena wristbands. I don't know if WWE has noticed it, but people just are starting to get sick and tired of John Cena. And I know that's old stuff. I mean, people have been talking about that since 2011. But, it's just got to be time. I mean, with people like Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn when he comes back, Hideo Itami, Dolph Ziggler. I mean, there's just so many people coming up right now that need that push. And it is so great to see right now people like Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose on the main card that are in the, championship ladder. That's just amazing. But I think it's this time that, and I'm not saying to Roman Reigns, because Roman Reigns will never get over, I don't think, unless they do something drastic with him. They've just really got to be focusing in on these guys that I think could make WWE money in the future. And it's sad, but that is the fact, is that, it's all about how many t-shirts get sold. And so, yeah, I forgot to grade this match, but I'd probably grade it C+. It wasn't bad. It was just predictable. So, yeah. So I'm not going to give a what now feature on this video, just because I don't really think, except for NXT, this is going to be a very meaningful pay-per-view. Um, Finn Balor, I can see him going on, like I said, face Kevin Owens at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, keeping the title, obviously, and then at the next TakeOver, which I think would be around September, dropping it possibly to Hideo Itami when he comes back from injury, and which would set up Finn Balor. I think that could be a really good debut at Survivor Series. I feel that would be, I come up with these reviews on the spot, and that actually sounds really good for Finn Balor to main roster debut at Survivor Series. Just because if you look back at the whole entirety of people who have debuted there, people like Undertaker, The Rock, The Shield, they've all just gone on to greatness. and that is exactly what Finn Balor is destined for, is greatness in the company. But other than that, you know, I want to thank you all for giving me almost 2,000 views on my video live from Indianapolis at the Bankers Life Fieldhouse from Monday Night Raw a couple weeks ago on Brock Lesnar's entrance. That's pretty neat to see almost 2,000 views. If you guys have any more ideas on videos to do, go ahead and add them in the comments. You know, I'm open to stuff like reactions, reaction videos, stuff like that. So, yeah, if you want to see something, go ahead and comment on it. Other than that, you know, I told you I had my first race that was last weekend at the Groton Motorsports Park that didn't go over all that well. So I'm going to be changing my image in racing from formula cars to sports cars here in the coming months, which I think would be very neat and a lot better racing, I think. But, you know, now it's just enjoying summer break off, you know, watching some racing, watching some WWE. More news if you're in the Indianapolis area and were not able to attend Monday Night Raw on June 22nd. WWE returns to the Bankers Life Fieldhouse for Thursday night SmackDown on November 24th. So, and that will be a very special episode because that will air on Thanksgiving. If not, that could be a live episode of SmackDown just in case there would be a shortage with Thanksgiving that Thursday when it would air. But yeah, no. Thanks for watching this video and like, comment, subscribe. Thanks.